Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Embody Self. I am Yasmina, and today we are diving into something deeply personal for many of us: the journey to feeling whole again. I have worked with countless women over the years, and while each of their stories is unique, there are three women whose struggles stand out: Mary, Anne, and Elizabeth. These aren't just names, they are archetypes, reflections of the many roles we play as women and the challenges that come with them. As I share their stories today, I'll also share parts of my own, because I've been there too, in the overwhelm, the perfectionism, the transitions. If any of this resonates with you, know that you are not alone and there is a way forward. Let's start with Mary. Mary is the mom who does it all. She is the glue holding her family together, but at the cost of her own well being. I remember when I was in a season of my life that looked a lot like Mary's. My daughter was very young. I was working with her in my career, hosting workshops, traveling, driving, working on my farm, having a garden, raising animals, trying to be the best mom I can be, learning about natural parenting, healing my own trauma so I would not pass it on to her. I was trying to be everything to everyone. I thought if I just work harder, if I just push through, everything will be okay. But it wasn't. I was running on empty, snapping at the people I loved most, and feeling this deep ache like I'd lost myself somewhere along the way. For a woman like Mary, guilt is a constant companion. Guilt for taking even a moment for herself. But here is what I learned the hard way: taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. In my Awakening the Whole Woman program, we start small. Maybe it's carving out 5 minutes to just sit in silence or taking one deep breath before you walk into a chaotic room. These little moments are like planting seeds, and over time, they grow into something bigger, into a life where you feel present, alive, and whole. Just the fact that you are willing to invest in yourself, that you are willing to take for yourself an hour of time only for you to close yourself in a room is a big, big step. And in my program, we work through all the emotions that come up when you are there sitting in the room, and maybe next door you hear your child yelling, calling, and maybe you hear your partner having an argument with your child, or maybe you hear him raising his voice and you start feeling guilt and overwhelmed. Oh, I should not be doing this. It's so familiar. I have been there. A lot of my clients have been there. And trust me, you can go through it. I went through it. So many of the women I work with went through it. And now they're claiming their time and loving their time and enjoying themselves in their time because we deserve it. Now, let's talk about Anna. Anna is the woman who seems to have it all: success, independence, a life others admire. But inside, she feels hollow, like no matter how much she achieves, it's never enough. This one hits close to home for me. I spent years chasing achievement, thinking that if I just did more, accomplished more, then I'd finally feel like I was enough. But what I found was the opposite. The more I achieved, the more disconnected I felt from myself. Anna's struggle is perfectionism, the need to be everything to everyone, to never show weakness, to constantly prove her worth. And it's exhausting just thinking about it. Oh, just thinking about the time when I did that and when it felt like whatever I achieve, there is a next step in it. And I would climb the tower, I would be on the top, but I would never enjoy the top. I would never enjoy my achievements. I would just get on to the next one, next project, next idea, next move, next thought. Everything needed to happen. I needed to make it. One of the most transformative moments in my life was learning to say no, not just to others, but to the version of myself that thought my value came from what I did rather than who I was. I remember the question in my first year of therapy. What is your value? That question broke me apart. That question, I did not have an answer for it. I went searching for that answer. I asked my husband. I asked my friends. I asked everybody, what is my value? I would ask them, what is your value? And I was so surprised when my husband knew his value immediately. He had many things that he counted and said, that's my value. And for me, I would just count my achievements. And then when my therapist friend said, that's your achievements, that's not your value. That was so new for me. I was so connected. I was one with what I achieved. There was no value in me for me except for my achievements. And trust me, I have a big, big, long list of achievements. But when it came to value, I had zero. And it took me a good year, maybe, to start counting my value. And now I'm so aware of it. And that is why I'm doing this. That is why I'm sharing this with you. That is why in my program, I help women like Anna, like previous version of myself, rediscover their inner compass, the part of them that knows what they truly want, but has been silenced for so long. We practice saying yes to joy, to rest, to the things that make your soul light up, and no to everything that doesn't serve you. Anna, if you're listening, you don't have to carry this burden alone. You are enough just as you are. And finally, we have Elizabeth. Elizabeth is in a season of transition. Maybe it's a divorce, a career change, or an empty nest. Maybe it's all combined. She feels lost, untethered, like the ground beneath her feet is shifting. I see so much of my own journey in Elizabeth. Just a few months ago, my life felt like it was falling apart. I'd made big changes, some by choice, some not. And I wasn't sure how it's gonna play out. It was in a way terrifying, but it was also the most fertile time for growth in my life. For Elizabeth, the fear of the unknown can feel paralyzing. But here is what I want her to know. Transitions are not the end. They are the beginning of something new. In the program, we create a safe space for women like Elizabeth to explore their next chapter. Through gentle somatic practices, we ground the body in the present moment. Through journaling and reflection, we reconnect with your vision for the future, what you want, what you value, and who you are becoming. Elizabeth, if you're listening, this is your invitation to step into the unknown, with courage and grace. You are not alone, and you are stronger than you know. So, whether you see yourself in Mary, Anna, Elizabeth, or maybe a mix of all three, I want you to know that there is a path to feeling whole again. It's not about fixing yourself, because you are not broken. It's about rediscovering the parts of you that have been waiting for your attention, your love, your care. Through my Whole Woman Awakening program, I've had the honor of witnessing so many women transform their lives, not by becoming someone new, but by remembering who they already are. If this resonates with you, I invite you to reach out. You can learn more about the program on my website or connect with me directly. Let's take this journey together. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message or share this with someone who might need it. And remember, you are whole, you are enough, and you are deeply loved. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.